Open Sky Bodywork is an integrative and holistic approach to personal growth and to healing. And it's really an incredible honor to guide someone through the process of this kind of mind-body work, and even more particularly of waking up in a new way to an experience of their energy. It's something I'm very passionate about and always excited to share with people. We work with the mind, and we work with the body, and we work with the relationship between the two. In a way, we could say that the story of your life is written in your body. And we could also say that your mind lives in your body. Your psyche is the interior space of which the body is the exterior expression. And so the way that we work is by combining dialogue, sitting, talking, and getting to know what's going on, hearing some of the story of your life, and then by going directly to the body and working with the places where there may be various holding patterns. When we're on the table, we'll use a variety of different techniques, some of which you'll recognize as standard massage and deep tissue techniques for affecting the structure of the body, and some of which are more about stimulating and moving energy through the body. We work with a series of high charge points that are specific muscles that tend to be the places where we hold contraction. The high charge areas, when they're open, will amplify and circulate a really pleasurable sense of energy in the body. And when they are contracted, they tend to be a doorway between the mind and the body. Between, if you like, the conscious and the unconscious, what we know about ourselves and what we don't know about ourselves. So the high charge points are really, really fascinating. And as the high charge muscles go through a sequence of releasing and opening up, the physical structure of the body starts to shift and change, and often this will resolve pain syndromes, things like low back pain, sciatica, chronic jaw tension. But the opening up of the high charge points also liberates the energy in the body in a way that sounds kind of fantastical if you just hear me talking about it, and looks perhaps kind of strange if you've never seen it before. But the experience of it is so powerful and so beautiful, and so much about a kind of embodied spiritual awakening that I wish there were words that I could use to communicate it to you. We don't really understand what's happening in that energetic process, except to say that it's a direct experience, it's very visceral, it's very powerful. It feels really wonderful and really exciting, and it's like your whole system gets to unwind deeply held layers of stress and tension and trauma and suffering, and gets to be, in a way, reconnected or plugged back in to a sense of aliveness and beauty and wonder and gratitude and the simple pleasure of being a human being. I really love sharing this work with people because so often there will be yoga students of mine who've been coming to class for some time, and they've heard me talking about energy. And then they come in for a private bodywork session, and once we're on the table, they start to have this energetic experience, and they look at me and say, "Oh, this is what you mean. This is what you've been talking about. This is that thing." And by the end of the session, there's a really fascinating transformation that's happened. A lot of the times when we're done with the session, I end up saying to my clients, you know, I really want you to look in the mirror before you leave, because there's an openness, and there's an aliveness, and there's a sense of beauty. There's a real sense of spiritual beauty that radiates. It's like, to speak metaphorically, it's like the soul has come closer to the surface of the body as we've peeled through some of these layers of holding and conflict and shame. And sometimes the process includes tears. Sometimes it includes laughter. Sometimes people really need to feel their fire, their anger, their frustration about things, and move through some of that. People are sometimes intimidated by the work. They're intimidated because the feeling is that it's going to be difficult or scary or painful. But there's something really amazing that happens when we surrender into feeling, into listening to the body, into trusting the heart, when we let the deeply held emotions come up to the surface. When we allow the energetic process to move us, when we're moved by our own experience. There's something so natural about it. There's something so innate and beautiful and right in the way that it feels, that it's actually a relief. And even if there are tears, and even if there's shame that we're working through, or anger that we're getting in touch with, it's the truth. And it's the truth that sets us free. And in the experience of it, it's kind of undeniable. It kind of just lands as, oh, this is the truth of my life. This is what my body is telling me. This is where my heart is really at. So when I use the word energy, I mean it in a very particular, very grounded, very experiential way. We're talking about your body and how your mind lives in your body, and how the conflicts that we carry in our minds often show up in the body through chronic tension patterns and through places that are just holding back the energy that needs to be expressed in order for us to be alive, in order for us to be healthy. So this is the territory that we're exploring together. Who are you in your life right now? How does that show up in your body? What do you want? Where do you feel stuck? Where does healing need to happen? How can we move forward? And what does it mean to go through a process where layer by layer we're practicing embracing the mind and the body with a deeply compassionate heart, such that we might walk in the world with a sense of deeply embodied and alive and honest spirituality?